everyone, I'm Jessie of Crochet by Jessie and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be seeing how many granny squares I can crochet in an hour. For this challenge, the yarn I'm going to be using is this yarn. It's colour changing, has a beautiful colourway, and what I'm doing is I'm working solid granny squares into this project. So this is what they're going to look like. It's going to be 4 rounds for each square, and I'm making a project with it currently, so I thought it would be interesting just to see how much I can get done in an hour with these squares. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a timer, and then I'm going to give you guys updates when each square is complete of how many squares I've got done and how much time I have left. And I'm going to guess I can maybe get 6 done. We're going to see how that goes. But before you watch this video, if you do put in the comments below how many you think I am going to get done, and then reply to yourself after and see if you were correct, or if you thought I maybe was going to do more than I managed to do, or if you were a bit pessimistic and thought I would only get like 2 or 3 done and I got 10, but I don't think I'm going to get 10 done. Okay guys, I've got my yarn on my hook and I've got my hour timer ready, so let's begin. My initial video of me crocheting was my accurate crochet speed, but I have sped up now for the purpose of this video because it would be a very long one if I didn't. I also want to note that the type of granny square that I am working on is not a traditional granny square. I don't know if there is a specific name for it, but I call it the solid granny square, and it just means that instead of working in groups of 3, I'm just going across each of the rows and then I'm putting 2 double crochet, 1 chain, 2 double crochet into each of the corners. I really enjoy doing this square because it just looks a little bit different to the traditional granny square that you tend to find, and I think it's going to work really well with these colours and the cozy kind of autumn vibe that I'm going for with the blanket that I'm going to make using them. So I think it's just going to be a really nice, slightly different finish to a project that I haven't actually done myself before. I will admit that I am not entirely sure if I am keeping this blanket or not yet. I don't really have anything in the house that goes with this colour palette, but I have been obsessed with this yarn for literally over a year. It's the reason I got it with genuinely no project to do at the time. So I'm happy to be finally working on it, but I don't know if I want to let it go and to give it away or to gift it. So we're gonna see. I'll probably find a way to keep it, just so I'm kind of validating myself for keeping it, even if the reason itself isn't completely valid, because I feel like I've got my heart set on keeping this blanket. And we're now getting to the stages where it looks like the first granny square is about to be complete. Okay guys, so I don't know if this is going to continue to happen, we'll see. Maybe it's because I was just excited and it was the start of the challenge. But I got this square done in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And let's just say that's way quicker than I thought it would be. I honestly thought this would take me at least 10 minutes to do. So we're going to see how much more I can get done in this time. But I feel like my initial guess was probably a bit off now. So we will see. Okay, so granny square number 1 is finished, so we're going to see if I can keep up at the same pace. I have a feeling that my crocheting will be slowing down as I'm working on it, because I feel like it inevitably does. You're always really quick at the start when you have a really high amount of energy, and then just the longer you crochet or the longer you do anything, I feel like you just start to tire out and just slow down naturally. So I'm going to see if I can keep up with my speed, but I'm pretty sure I won't, but we'll see how drastic it is in comparison to this first square. Also, I just want to point out now, can we appreciate how different this second square is going to be in comparison to the first one? That's why I love using colour changing yarn for projects like this, because each square comes out looking so unique in comparison to the previous ones. And I think when you join them all together to make a blanket, it's just going to work up so nice. We are now 10 minutes into this challenge and it's getting pretty close to finishing this second square. I'm feeling pretty good time-wise, and honestly I feel like this challenge has shown me that I am a little bit quicker crochet-wise than I actually thought I was. So that's a good thing to know and to not doubt myself as much as I think I have been until now. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I don't really tend to properly log the time that it takes to finish my projects. So there's a lot of guesstimating when it comes to me and how long my projects take to finish. So actually documenting a project and time stamping it and just seeing how quickly I get through everything, it really came to a surprise to me just how quick I can be. I think this challenge alongside my 6-day star blanket challenge that I'm doing, which I've currently got 3 days done so far, so I'm currently working on the 4th day. Both these projects have just shown me how much I can get done in a relatively small period of time, which I never really kind of fully tracked to think that I could do so. I always assumed it took longer to get where I was getting in my projects. In just under 14 minutes, I have managed to make 2 squares. So this was the first one I did, and this is my second one. So yeah, I'm really surprised with how quick it's going. I'm now feeling like I might actually be able to make potentially up to 8, but I'm gonna say 7, just in case, because I may slow down. Let's hope that I have not jinxed myself by talking about slowing down again, but I will say that I did not expect that I would get 2 granny squares done with an average of 7 minutes per square so far. I honestly thought that I would get 6 done at most, and I thought that that would be a really good amount to get done because an average of 10 minutes per square, I thought I'd be spending 10-12 minutes maybe on each square, so it really says a lot about how you can underestimate yourself. And if you guys aren't even sure how quick you crochet, I'd so recommend that you sit down and you do this challenge yourself, because I'm finding it a really eye-opening and fun experience to do. And up until recently, I never even thought about trying a challenge like this, and it's been extremely rewarding, and it's teaching me a lot more about my own version of crochet and how quick I can crochet and what I'm able to get done in certain time limits. I also feel like it would be really fun if you're relatively new to crochet and you record how long it takes to get maybe 1 granny square done, and then maybe 6 months down the line when you're feeling a little bit more confident as a crocheter, potentially trying the challenge again and then just comparing your times. And it could be something that you maybe do every 6 months to every year, and just look at how you progress and potentially how much quicker you become as a crocheter, because I guarantee we don't realise just how much we're speeding up at the time, and then when you look back at it you suddenly realise that you're maybe 2-3 times, sometimes even more than that, faster to your original crochet speed. And yeah, that's such a crazy realisation that you just don't realise just how much you are speeding up naturally, and when you take a step back and actually think about it, it's a really crazy difference and a really big achievement. It's definitely a challenge I would have loved to do when I was just starting out to crochet, but in my defence, I was only 7, and 7-year-old Jessie would by no means have thought to do something like this. So if you are relatively new to crochet, I really would say to jump at this opportunity, because I feel like it would be something that maybe you would regret if you look back at it, because my nan lover, she never would have thought to figure out how quick I was and to document it. She was just happy that her granddaughter really wanted to learn how to crochet. So I think in that sense I missed out on a few opportunities, but I also gained the skill of crochet from a really young age, and it's meant that I've been able to practice so much over the years, and honestly I'm really thankful that I was taught at the age that I was taught. One thing that I always find funny is that I come from a really creative family. My mum, my aunties, my nan, they're all so artistic, and they can paint and they can draw and they can do all these different kinds of crafts, and I cannot draw to save my life. Painting I'm even worse at. I've tried a lot and it just never goes how I visualize it. So when I started to crochet and I found that I really had a knack for it, and how I was visualizing things, they were then turning out how I was hoping they would, it then meant that I was able to channel my creative side into crochet completely. And I've been doing that over the years, and I've made some pieces I have been so proud of. And it's amazing because when you come from a really creative family and you just don't think you have an ounce of creativity in you, finding your niche and finding your knack, it's absolutely awesome. Honestly, I don't think there is ever going to be a time in my life where I go without crocheting for a few days, because it is the most calming thing. I absolutely love winding down and crocheting every evening when I get the chance to, and it's extremely satisfying when you have a hook and a ball of yarn and you can make the most beautiful things like the granny squares that I've been working on today. And on that note, we are just about to finish our hour of crocheting these granny squares. Okay guys, I'm finally done with my hour long of crocheting my granny squares, and I'm very pleased to say I have finished 8 full granny squares. I had a minute and a half left. There was no point me starting one because I knew for a fact I wasn't going to get it done in a minute and a half, but I'm actually really happy with how much progress I have made. I really thought maybe even 7 was going to be a push, but getting to finish 8 and still have a bit of time left, I'm really surprised, and I think I'm a faster crocheter than I kind of ever thought I was. How close were you guys to guessing how many granny squares I finished? Did you underestimate me or overestimate me? Do let me know in the comments. But that is it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then please do press the like button and subscribe, as well as pressing the bell to be notified when my next video is up. But for now, I will see you guys next time.